Hi, George Anderson here, and today I'm going to tell you about a couple of really cool warm-up exercises you can do before you start your run. Now actually, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to do a lot of static stretching for the hamstrings, for the calves, for the quads, all this business. You really don't have to do that before you go. There's no evidence to suggest that that's going to reduce your chances of injury, and in fact some studies show that it can reduce your performance when you run, especially if you're doing some faster sessions. So what do we do? Apart from gradually building up the intensity of the run itself, before we go out the door, there's a couple of really easy things you can do that takes a couple of minutes that will just get your body ready and prepared. Now, if you spend a long time during the day sat down, say you work an office job, you sat down through the course of the day, and then you go for a run in the evening, through the course of the day, when you sat down, your hip flexors, the front of the hips, will shorten and tighten. And the effect of that is, first of all, it'll reduce your stride length, which makes it harder to get a decent, efficient running style going. And secondly, it's going to switch off the glutes, the bum muscles, which we really need to be firing quite effectively whilst we're running. So the first one is going to stretch out the hip flexors, and the second exercise we're going to do, which takes just 30 seconds or so, is we're going to start to activate the bum muscles. We're going to activate the glutes themselves. So the first exercise, or the first stretch, should I say, is the hip flexor stretch. Just come into a lunge position, lift your body up nice and tall, and then drive the hips forwards. It's just a knee driver. The front knee drives forwards, body stays tall, and the stretch comes right into here, into that rear hip flexor. Drives through. There we go. To show you that from the front, I'll show you something else that you can do at the same time as pushing the hips forwards. Take the same side arm and open it up into a kind of a big backhand movement, and then we get a great stretch through the whole of this front side, this oblique line through the body. It's a very effective way of stretching the hip flexors there. Do 10 or so repetitions on one side and get the same thing going on the other side. Through it comes. We don't want to stretch statically for these warm-up drills. Holding it there, again, we don't want to or need to do that. We just want to come at a very controlled bouncing movement into and then straight back out of the position again. So 8 to 10 on each side of that, and that should be the hip flexors loosened off sufficiently. The second exercise is the glute activator. This is again a real simple one. You may have seen this before. Just have a lie down, feet flat on the ground, and then just think about squeezing your bottom, squeeze your bum, and lift your hips up off the ground. Now hold it there for about 5 seconds, and then lower back down again and relax. So squeeze with the bum and lift with the hips, lower back down, and then relax. And all that's doing is it's starting to switch on your glutes, your bum muscles, which means that when you then go running, they're much more likely to be firing as you're running without you having to think about it too much. So there's two really simple but very effective drills you can do before you go for your run that will guaranteed improve your performance and maybe even reduce your chances of injury. I'm George Anderson. I'll see you next time.